Namaste, welcome back. In this class we discuss national movement in India, independence and partition. The incident took place from 1939 to 1947. Now that was the time 1935. In 1935, the British Parliament passed an act that is called the Government of India 1935 Act. This act was passed in 1935 year. So according to this act, the provinces could conduct elections, and also the party, a winning party, could form the government. So elections held in 1937. You know how many people were given right to vote at the time? So there was 12%. 12% people were given right to vote to provincial assemblies, and only 1% people were given right to vote only for provincial state, that is national provinces. This is about provincial assemblies, this is provincial center. So very small number of people were given right to vote. Now this is at the time. Now what was the result? Election held in 1937 and Congress party won 8 provinces and formed the government. You know how many provinces were there? Out of 11, there were 11 provinces. Out of 11 provinces, Congress party won 8 provinces and formed the government. And this was the tough time for the Congress party, Congress men, because that was the time for Second World War. Second World War started in the year 1939. Now, what is the stand of Congress party? Should Indians or should Congress support the British or oppose the British? Because at the time, many congressmen, they did not like Nazism, fascism. So they wanted to support the British. On the same issue, Congress party divided into 2 parts, but the most congressmen, they supported British to fight against Nazism, Hitler, Germany, Austria, to fight against Axis powers. Okay, that is about the Congress stand, Indian stand. But you know what happened? Without taking the consent of Indians, one-sided, the British decided that India would participate in the Second World War. They didn't take Indians' consent. Now, what was the political situation in England? There was, there were 2 parties. All party governments led by that is Conservative Party. The Prime Minister of England at that time, Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister. He belongs to Conservative Party. So there were 2 parties in England. One is Conservative Party and the other is Labour Party. As we compare with India, that is BJP and Congress, same way there we find Conservative Party and Labour Party. These 2 parties. Now what is the stand of Conservative Party? Conservative Party was not ready to lose the colonies. It wanted to control all the colonies as much as possible, as long as possible. But whereas Labour Party, every time it was willing to help Indians to get freedom. So Labour Party is favor to Indians. Conservative Party, that is Winston Churchill, the then Prime Minister of England, he was not ready to give freedom to India. But they accepted, they wanted to give a status of dominion. Status of dominion. Under British Crown, they wanted to give this status, which run under British Crown. But Indians, they demanded to give complete freedom. Almost even they wanted to give a promise of freedom. Indians, that is Congress party, demanded to give a promise of freedom to India, but British refused this demand. The British government refused the demand, and also it hold special wartime powers. So Congress Party, on refusal of British government this demand, Congress Party it upset. It became upset, and it decided to resign all the ministries once which were formed in 1937 elections. All the Congress ministries resigned in the year 1939. 1937 they formed the government, and in 1939, to protest the decision of government, the government is not ready to give freedom. It always try to give a status dominion. It is which run under British crown. But congressmen demanded for a promise, minimum promise. When the war had ended, at that time they wanted freedom. This time only a promise of freedom. But British government refused. To protest their decision, Congress Party resigned from ministries in the year 1939. The demand getting freedom from, what was the demand? Congress Party wanted complete freedom, wanted a promise of freedom. When the war had ended, we wanted freedom, but British government refused Congress proposal. To protest British government decision, Congress Party went for resigned from the ministries and went for individual satyagraha. Individual satyagraha held in the year 1940 and 41. In these 2 years, Congress Party organized a series of individual satyagraha. And what about British? So British government wanted to suppress Congress Party, so it got special wartime powers. According to maintain law and order in the country, it got special wartime powers. It means anybody who speak against the government, they can be arrested and put into jail without any prosecution. Congress Party made a lot of pressure on British. So British government wanted to punish Congress Party, and also Congress Party became very strong and more popular among Indians. At any cost, they wanted to punish Congress Party and make it weaken, and also make it unpopular. For that, they followed divide and rule policy. What was the policy? Divide and rule. This policy they followed. To achieve this policy, they supported and encouraged Muslim League, and they gave very less importance to Congress Party. Now look at this question: who represent the people of Indians, that is people of country? Whether is it Congress Party or Muslim League or Hindu Maha Sabha or RSS? Which one among these 3? Now look at, we discuss about Muslim League. This party was started in the year 1906. Muslim League Party was established in 1906. You know, for the first time, initial stage, the main aim of this party was to save the interest of Muslim landlords in Uttar Pradesh. For that purpose, this party was made. Later, this party demanded for separate electorates for Muslims, where Muslim candidates could contest, and also they cast their Muslim candidate, they cast their vote to Muslim candidates. So Congress Party understood their demand. Congress Party understood their logic, so accepted. So on demand of this Muslim League, in the year 1909, separate electorates were implemented in the year 1909. Now one more thing about Muslim League. Now go to this one. Go to 1937 elections. There was no large mass support to Muslim League in the year 1937. You know, Muslim League contested almost in 482 constituencies, but only 1 or 2 they won. This party won only 1 or 2 out of 482. and it secured only 4.4 votes, Muslim votes. Now, whereas Congress Party also contested in Muslim constituencies. It won 26 out of 58 because Congress Party thought that Congress Party was a national party and it was not a party of Hindus or any single religion. To give this message, Congress Party also contested in Muslim electorates. See, this was the result at that time. In 1946, in 1937, only this much percentage. Muslim League secured only 4.4 percentage of Muslim votes. There was no mass support. Now, in 1946, when elections held once again in for provincial assemblies and center, at this time Muslim League won all its seats. 100% seats Muslim League secured this time. Then what happened during this time? 1937 to almost 1947. What happened during these 10 years time? What happened to Muslim population? Okay, what happened to Muslim population? Just look at once. In the starting stage, when the first elections held at the time 1937, Muslim League secured only 4.4 percentage of Muslim votes. Now, in the year 1946, that is 47, it won all the Muslim seats. Now, what happened for Muslim population these 10 years time? Muslim League utilized all these 10 years time. It became very strong. At the time, many Congress leaders, they were in jail. So, Muslim League utilized each and every time, and it became very strong among Muslims. It made more allegations of Congress Party, like Congress Party was only a Hindu party, and Congress Party is not a party to save the interest of Muslims. And one more allegation is Congress Party is not ready to share power with the Muslim League. This way, it made allegations on Congress Party. It blamed Congress Party this way. So, Congress Party was insensitive towards Muslims. One allegation. See, it was basically a Hindu party. These are all allegations made by Muslim League. It did not want to share power with Muslims. It banned its members from taking membership of Muslim League. The same Congress Party allowed its members to take membership from Hindu Maha Sabha. This process was also banned because of Maulana Azad, a Muslim congressman. He objected this policy, so it was also banned by Congress Party. This way, Muslim League made more allegations. It became very strong among Muslim population. Okay, we discussed about Muslim League. What was the question? Who will represent Indians? Whether Muslim League, Congress Party, and or Hindu Mahasabha or RSS. Already we discussed about Muslim League. Now let's look at Hindu Mahasabha. Hindu Mahasabha and RSS, Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. So what are these? These are the organizations which run only for Hindus. Hindu Mahasabha, it wanted, these two wanted to unite all the Indians, all the Hindus. These two are only for Hindus, to unite all the Hindus in India. Already these two gave a message that India was a land of Hindus where majority people belonged, and also many congressmen also, they were impressed by these Hindu Mahasabha and RSS activities. Now this is about the Hindu Mahasabha and RSS. Now what about Congress? So Congress wanted to create secularism. It wanted to impress all the Muslims and Hindus. They spread a message that Congress Party is a national party. It was a national party. It was not a party for Hindus or Muslims. For that, it contested all the constituencies. It tried very hard to spread the message that Congress Party is a party which follows secularism. Okay, Pakistan, the name So earlier the person Muhammad Iqbal, who wrote Sare Jaho Se Acha, the song, Muhammad Iqbal, this person in his speech, in his message, as a presidential message in Muslim League in the year 1930, he proposed a Muslim state, Northwest Indian Muslim state. He proposed for the first time in his presidential speech in Muslim League in 1930. Later, the person Chaudhary Rahmat Ali, a Punjabi student, he named Pakistan. The name Pakistan came to light by this person, Chaudhary Rahmat Ali. The meaning of Pakistan in his words, that P for Punjab, A for Afghan, K for Kashmir, S for Sindh, then for Balochistan. Among those area, he named it Pakistan. Now later Muslim League in the year 1940, 23rd March 1940. This year Muslim League made a proposal, made a resolution, and also it demanded for a separate, not for separate country here. It demanded for autonomy for Muslims, where Muslim population is more in number, that region should be given autonomy. Here there was no separate country demand, but later Muslim League considered this resolution asking for separate country, and 1940 till 1946. Among these years, Muslim League impressed all the Muslim population. It became very strong among Muslims, because at that time 1942 till 1945, at this time many large members from Congress party, they were in prison. So Muslim League utilized this period and it became very strong, and it won all the hearts of Muslims and got success.